Brennan framed Jason for murder. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Dante told Alexis that Cyrus had killed Sam and the others, but had disappeared. Laura explained everything to Martin, who felt like stopping Cyrus from letting their mother die set this in motion. Suspicious that Cyrus' cabin was so clean, Anna felt it was a professional job and called Jason to the station. He insisted he hadn't done it, but the sweep of the cabin turned up only 2 hairs and forensics indicated they were Jason's. Jocelyn arrived at the station insisting that Jason was innocent. She then went to see Jack, who had been discussing his new relationship with Carly. She told him about Jason and Brennan, assured her that he wouldn't go to prison because there was no body. He then repeated his offer for her to join the WSB, which she reluctantly accepted. Jason insisted that he was at Drew's when Cyrus was murdered, so Drew was called down to the station where he lied and wouldn't confirm Jason's alibi. Eventually, Diane got a judge to throw out the case, and Anna was determined to find out who set him up. Brooklyn told Lois that she confessed to Chase she'd had a baby as a teenager, but left out the fact that Dante was the father. Sonny gave Gio money for a trip to see the Chicago Orchestra, and he was grateful. Chase suggested to Brooklyn that they could use Finn as a sperm donor, so the baby would still be part of the family. But she didn't want to have his brother's baby. As Lois comforted Brooklyn, Dante advised Chase, and later, Chase admitted he knew it was a bad idea and apologized for putting her in that position. Stella told Curtis that Congressman Henderson would meet with him, and he tested out what he planned to say about Drew with his aunt, who worried that Drew would retaliate. Drew was grateful to Willow for always believing in him, and she declared that he was the man she loved, so she and the kids would move in with him after all. Laura, Jordan, and Curtis told Sonny about Drew and Sidwell's plan to take his property for the Esplanade, promising they were fighting it, and urged him not to do anything foolish. Sidwell wanted Lucy to help him buy Sonny's property, but she declined. When Sidwell warned Carly to keep quiet about the misunderstanding, when he held her and Sasha at gunpoint, Jack warned him to leave Carly alone, or he'd take care of him permanently. After chatting with Jordan at the Metro Court, Sidwell was pulled over to another table where he tried to strike a business deal with deception, offering them the mineral they needed in exchange for 5% of the company. After Sasha warned them he was a psychotic criminal, Sidwell maintained no charges were ever fired and warned them his offer had an expiration date. The family was stunned when Tracy announced a judge ruled Drew couldn't use the Quartermain name, and they argued that this would only hurt Scout, who wouldn't feel like part of a family anymore. Martin threatened to report that the Quartermain crypt was actually on public land, unless Tracy dropped her suit against Drew using the family name, but she called his bluff and wouldn't relent. When Lulu arrived, Martin apologized for not being able to help find Valentine, then quickly left. Noting his behavior, Tracy warned Lulu that the attorney was lying through his teeth. Trina told Ava all about her date with Kai, and Ava noted she was talking about grieving Spencer in the past tense. Quinn couldn't believe Kai went out with Trina after all she's done, but Kai argued that Trina didn't do anything and told Quinn to stay away from her. Kai then took Trina to an event at a modern art museum where they painted on canvases together, and he thanked her for opening his world. Kai caught Trina when she fell off her stepladder, and they went in for a kiss. Brad's excitement about going to Miami with Lucas was dampened when Selena informed him that he would have to return to work for her to pay off Cody's debt. He gave his aunt Heather's lab results that Portia tampered with, and Selena accepted that as payment. After another spat with Drew about Willow, Nina asked Maxie for help in getting into Drew's safe to find something incriminating. Maxie hinted at where she might find the combination before leaving. Lucky finally woke up and Lulu filled him in on Jason being arrested for murdering Cyrus. Liz was relieved he was okay, but worried that this incident might change his mind about staying in Port Charles. When Ava tried to speak to Sonny about Avery, Christina blew up at her again, and Rick made things worse before Alexis
Molly went
managed
to
to pick up
settle
Danny
things
at the
down.
Quartermains and opened up to Cody about her parents always being at each other's throats. Speaking from experience, Cody urged her to tell them how she felt. Sasha was overwhelmed at the Quartermains, feeling they wanted to dictate what she does with her baby. But she declined Jason's offer to help, not wanting to take his money. Hoping to help rescue Sasha, Olivia talked to Carly, who agreed to offer the single mom a room at the Metro Court and a job in the kitchen. In a shocking turn of events, General Hospital's dramatic landscape was forever changed when it was revealed that the notorious and enigmatic character Brennan orchestrated a plot to frame Jason Morgan for a murder he didn't commit. The intense and convoluted story unfolded over weeks, building suspense and pushing the limits of the characters' moral compasses, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. It all began when a high-profile murder rocked Port Charles, a case that seemed to have all the hallmarks of Jason Morgan's criminal activity. The victim was someone deeply embedded in the underworld, someone whose death would create a significant power vacuum, and the suspect was the one person whose name had been synonymous with such violent dealings for years: Jason Morgan. However, this time, the situation was different. Jason's life was on the line in a way he had never experienced before. He had been framed for a crime that no one could have anticipated, and all the evidence seemed to point squarely at him. The murder took place under the cover of darkness, and it appeared to be a targeted hit, a signature move of Jason's work as an enforcer for Sonny Corinthos, his longtime friend and boss. The victim had been a key player in a dangerous drug deal that was rumored to involve several powerful figures. Jason had been in the vicinity at the time of the murder, which made him the prime suspect in the eyes of law enforcement. With his criminal history and ties to the Corinthos organization, it didn't take much for the authorities to jump to the conclusion that Jason was responsible. The shot came when Brennan, a seemingly minor yet scheming character, revealed herself as the mastermind behind this twisted conspiracy. Brennan, known for her cool demeanor and ability to manipulate the truth, had been working behind the scenes for months to set up Jason. Her motivations were initially unclear, but it became evident that she had been targeting him for a very personal reason: revenge. Brennan had a deep, long-standing grudge against Jason, one that went back to their tangled past filled with betrayal, power struggles, and violence. Brennan had learned that Jason had been involved in a past incident where her brother had been harmed. While Jason had no memory of the event, it had haunted Brennan for years. This incident had been part of a larger conflict involving various criminal factions, and Jason, as always, had been caught in the crossfire. Brennan's desire for revenge simmered over time, and she meticulously planned the perfect crime that would not only bring down Jason, but also exact her revenge. Working with a few key allies, Brennan carefully planted evidence that would tie Jason to the crime scene. She manipulated security footage, forged witness statements, and planted physical evidence at the scene. It was a flawless execution of a plan designed to make Jason appear guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. However, she underestimated one thing: Jason's ability to survive and his sheer determination to clear his name. As the investigation unfolded, Jason's friends and allies, including his wife Sam, Sonny Corinthos, and Spinelli, began to uncover the truth. Sam, in particular, was relentless in her pursuit of justice for her husband. Using her sharp instincts and her ability to dig into the smallest details, she started to uncover inconsistencies in the evidence. While the prosecution and law enforcement were convinced of Jason's guilt, Sam believed that the case didn't add up. She started to unravel Brennan's complex web of lies, piece by piece. The investigation became a game of cat and mouse, as Jason and his team worked tirelessly to find the real killer and expose Brennan's role in framing him. Spinelli, with his tech-savvy skills, was instrumental in hacking into surveillance systems and uncovering hidden files that Brennan had thought were secure. Sonny used his own network of contacts to gather intel from the underworld and piece together the truth. Meanwhile, Sam's determination and resilience never wavered. As she dug deeper into Brennan's past, the truth slowly began to emerge. The tension in Port Charles reached a boiling point. Brennan, realizing that her carefully crafted plan was beginning to unravel, resorted to desperate measures to cover her tracks. She went to great lengths to eliminate anyone who might stand in her way, including trying to manipulate witnesses and plant false evidence to lead the investigation down the wrong path. But Jason and his team were always one step ahead, and with each new revelation, Brennan's grip on the situation slipped further. The final confrontation came when Jason was able to gather enough evidence to confront Brennan directly. With the help of his friends, he managed to corner her in a tense standoff, where all the pieces of the puzzle came together. Brennan, cornered and desperate, attempted to deny her involvement, but the evidence was irrefutable. Jason was finally exonerated, but the damage done to his reputation and to those around him was immense. The aftermath of this harrowing ordeal left Port Charles reeling. Jason's name was cleared, but the fallout from Brennan's actions would leave scars that would take years to heal. For Jason and Sam, it was a bittersweet victory. While Jason had been freed from the charges, the emotional toll on their relationship was significant. They were forced to confront the reality of the dangers that came with Jason's life in the criminal world. For Sonny and his organization, it was a reminder of the lengths to which people would go to exact revenge and the fragile nature of loyalty in their world. Brennan, meanwhile, vanished from Port Charles, her plans foiled and her reputation ruined. The final scenes showed her walking away from the wreckage she had caused, her future uncertain as she disappeared into the shadows, her thirst for vengeance unquenched. Jason and his loved ones, though relieved, knew that their battles were far from over. The story of Brennan's revenge might have ended, but in the world of Port Charles, there would always be another conflict waiting just around the corner. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updated news.